Hey you guys, before we get into my first pregnancy update, I just wanted to put this disclaimer out there. The videos are delayed, and that is because I have experienced a loss, and I've talked about this in many of the videos. I have a playlist that was dedicated to my daughter that passed away at birth, as well as I discussed this when I dealt with my son and his pregnancy, and it's just very hard for me, even though I've had a child that has lived, to be really accessible right away when I find out that I'm pregnant, because I know that pregnancy is a blessing, and every moment that you have being pregnant is precious. So I always wait until a time where I and my husband feel comfortable enough to really share the process, because it does get emotional. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there for those of you who are wondering why this first video is 0 to 8 weeks. I just really needed some time to process, and I'm doing this pregnancy updates a little bit differently, just to give myself some time to recover, and I'll talk about that as we go further in the pregnancy playlist for this pregnancy, some things that I'm experiencing. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey you guys, back again. This is not a drill, okay? Yeah, I'm not playing a joke or any of that. This is another pregnancy update. If you watched my video that came out before this, you saw my live pregnancy test, and yeah, you saw my reaction. We were not expecting it. So let me go back. So we had our anniversary. Our wedding anniversary was November 1st. And so my sister and brother-in-law were in town, and we had just been kind of enjoying being married 3 years, and we tried to go out on a date, and it was an epic fail because Josiah screamed so bad that we only were able to go out to dinner, and then we came back home. No bowling, no movie, none of that, unfortunately. And things happen. We're all grown. I'm married. So, baby dancing is something that happens, or dancing without trying to make a baby is a better word for calling it. And because I've been nursing, and like I said, that'll be in Josiah's update, I pretty much nursed Josiah literally up into a week before he turned 1. Here's why it was a week before I turned 1. So again, my wedding anniversary is on November 1st. Josiah was born November 21st. And so I have been going down to nursing him once, maybe twice a day when we get home, and then in the evening. And that was normal. My goal was to hit a year. Well, about maybe a week before his birthday, like the 12th, 13th, or the 14th, don't quote me directly, I went and put him on, and his latch was normal, but it felt really uncomfortable, and I felt really sore. And I took him off. Like, I didn't let him nurse long. I was like, we're just going to have to stop a week shy. No, it's not going to happen. This is uncomfortable. I thought he was, like, starting to bite because my nipples were really sore, but he didn't have a tooth coming in. But he does have the tendency to bite every now and then. So I was like, oh, he's starting to bite on the nipple, so maybe he's done anyway. Never did think at all, you guys, that I could be pregnant, okay? And so another few days went by, and I have been using my Ovia app, but keep in mind, my cycles have only been going on maybe about 2 months, because while I was nursing, especially the first 8 to 9 months, no cycle whatsoever. And then when my cycle did return, my monthly, my period, whatever you want to call it, I didn't know if I was ovulating or any of that, because my cycle was not the same as it was before kids, and even before I had Josiah. And so I kind of like monitored more like when we baby danced, and then when I was bleeding, to see what my new cycle was going to look like. And so something had happened. I used the Ovia app. I love that app. It's the app that I've used all the time. My app was like there's no data. And I'm like, what do you mean there's no data? I put stuff in there. So I didn't think about it, and I didn't record when my October cycle was. Then I was like, man, I feel like my period should have come. Like, this is really how I was processing it in my head. I was like, man, my period should be coming because I projected it to be before Josiah's first birthday, and his birthday's coming up. And this was like Friday, and his birthday was on a Tuesday. And so I went to the app again, and my data was back in there. So I went and looked at the calendar. I knew when I started my monthly because we were out of town in Alabama, and I had brought stuff because I just felt like it was going to come on because I was grumpy, I was irritated, I was bloated, and I was eating the McDonald's frappes a lot while we were traveling. So I was like, okay, my cycle should be coming on. I put that in there, and immediately, y'all, my fertility window switched just like that. And on the days that we dance not trying to make a baby, we're like in that fertility window. Like before peak, after peak, almost dang near peak. And the crazy thing is, I remember joking around with my husband, and I said, I'm keeping it completely 100 with you, because all, with Josiah was planned because we had lost Shalea. I had joked around with my husband and said, y'all, don't mess around and get me pregnant, because we're not trying to have a kid yet. We said like middle to end of 2018 we might try, because he'll be closer to 2 and all the rest of that stuff. I felt like I might have jinxed my own self with the words. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want people to start disliking the video. Like, oh my God, she doesn't want another kid. Not at all. I'm so happy and so blessed to be pregnant. That's first and foremost. If you've watched any of my videos, all the things that I've gone through, losing my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom, and my daughter all within 3 years, life is a very important thing for me. So when I took the test that y'all saw in the video, I had took the test, okay? When I recorded that clip, went in there and was watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse with my kid and had almost forgotten the time lapse. I went back in there at 5 minutes, and that line was beaming right there. And I was just thrown off because, again, my cycles haven't been consistent. We weren't really trying nor preventing, but at the same time, when we did all this before and tried to let it happen, it took a while after we lost Shalea to get pregnant with Josiah. Now, not as long as some people. Some people take 6 months to a year. Ours was about 5-6 months between Shalea's death and then conceiving with Josiah. And I know that it takes other people longer. So I'm not trying to act like it took a super long time. But I did not think within 2 months of a regular cycle that ovulating and everything would just be so on the mark, because that wasn't the case. I had to take Vitex before to get my ovulation back on track, a lot of OPKs, just a lot of stuff. And you can look at any of my previous TTC videos or 2-week waits. It was a lot going on. And so for it to just happen the way it happened and not think about it and then take that test on that Friday, told my husband, took that test, he just kind of glanced at it and he's like, you're pregnant. And got it confirmed by the doctor on Josiah's first birthday, y'all. It's a blessing, but it's super, it's a lot. And so I had to wrap my mind around it, because immediately people will say things. And like I said, this is an update, but I kind of wanted to give the background story and all that in this first video. People will say things like, oh, you're pregnant again, and shouldn't you have lost some weight, and things like that. And so I am hypersensitive. I cry a lot. I am like an emotional bag. My face is breaking out 24/7. I'm kind of rolling right into the symptoms. And so I was very hesitant about sharing this time, because unfortunately not everybody is nice and not everybody is supportive. And even though they have nothing to do with raising my children and what I do in my household and how my life is going to operate, does not mean that it does not hurt my feelings. Does not mean that at some point in my mind, I allow this stuff to get in my head and make me question, like, can I do this? And so I had to regroup. So I didn't come in. When I knew that, I was, I think, reversed. That wasn't a Friday. It must have been before that. When I thought I might be pregnant would be like around 3 weeks. I am 8 weeks and 1 day as I'm shooting this video. Excuse me. And I'm probably further along when I post this video, just because I have a sequence of orders on what I want to do because I've taken such a long break from YouTube. And as far as my weight, like I said, I'm pretty open and honest. I'm at the biggest that I've ever been in my life. Am I unhealthy? No. I went and got my wellness check, talked with the doctor, had my blood, everything up to date. I mean, everything. Urine, everything tested. Complete physical from head to toe. She just said, do my prenatals, make sure that I'm walking, which is why I got this, you guys. I got this Fitbit Charge 2. I love this thing. It helps me keep track of moving and grooving. And I've actually lost some pounds since starting. It's not my goal, but my goal is to be healthy and really not gain any weight, because when I was almost to the end with Josiah, I was anywhere between 265 and 270. When I found out I was pregnant, I was 270, y'all. This is no lie. And so I was very concerned because I was in the process of trying to lose weight, and my weight for me is important because I've had a stillbirth, and being overweight does increase the chances of stillbirth, not receiving that into the atmosphere at all. But I'm just going to be 100% honest that these are things that come in my mind, and some of you are watching this channel because you've had a loss, and these might be things that are coming in your mind, and I just wanted to address it. And so I do watch what I eat, but I don't like try to starve myself, because there's no point. This baby's going to grow. I need to eat accordingly, but I can monitor what I put in my mouth because I'm grown, and just because it's right there doesn't mean I have to eat it. With that being said, though, the karma of it all is I've had nausea consistently since I have found out. Pretty much every day, starts in the morning, subsides a little bit, comes back full force in the evening, and then it'll kind of play with me during the night. Squirt, ginger ale, stuff that's caffeine free, water. I got sick, y'all. Week 5 was awful. Josiah got the stomach flu from school, came home, threw up. Where we messed up is after we cleaned him up, after he puked in the house, we should have gotten the shower immediately instead of just washing our hands. We should have just completely saturated ourselves with soap and water and detoxed from his germs. We did not do that. Next day, I was puking my whole life, to the point where I almost thought I had to go to the ER because I was not even keeping water down. And so that was the experience. Puking every hour on the hour, and I had diarrhea. Not trying to be like gross, but it was horrible. And we got the flu shot, but I realized that the stomach flu is a different strand, and so the flu shot has nothing to do with that. And then my husband got sick that Sunday, and so it was a lot going on. And so it was like, wow, welcome to pregnancy, full force, all up in your face. And it was a rough recovery, and I still feel like my stomach's not quite right. My nausea is just like that, y'all. It's just like that. It doesn't have a consistent time or a consistent pattern. It's just when it hits, and there's just no other way around it. I just kind of gotta be prepared and ride it out. Now, I'm just very uncomfortable in my regular clothes. It's not like I hadn't already bought bigger clothes because I was still like heavier. It's more so I feel like I've got the bloat and I can't get it down. And even with me dropping pounds, it has nothing to do with like this little pressure in my stomach, and a lot of gas, a lot of windedness, and I teach and I have to walk, and having Josiah, I get winded super, super easy. In fact, when I went to the doctor, they had to give me inhalers just because I already have trouble in the winter season with asthma. And then I feel like I'm just out of breath trying to pick up Josiah. And this first trimester thing-ish just makes me super tired. Along with, I'm kind of just feel like I've been letting myself go. This is like the best I've looked since I found out I was pregnant. So, I mean, it's a combination of things, but like I said, I love it. Baby is the size of a raspberry. I don't want to forget those specs. Tiny little thing. I'm not going to do like whether I think is a boy or a girl, because I think I got too caught up with wanting a girl when I was pregnant with Josiah, and now having a son, I just want a healthy baby again. Lord willing, that is my biggest thing. I see a lot of people who get so caught up on the analytics and things like that. And not a day goes by that I don't miss Shalea. And then my sister was blessed to have her first child, and it was a little girl. And I just realized that I can't keep doing that to myself. I want to just love on this baby, and whatever it ends up being is what it ends up being. And so we're working on boy names. We already had a girl name from last pregnancy, but now we're working on another boy name. So when we do get to that point where we find out what it is, that we just, go full throttle and be super excited about that. As far as belly shots, y'all, I don't know if I'm going to do them. There was a group, Belly Love, here on YouTube. I mean, you can look them up. Just type in Belly Love, and it comes up like a cartoon version. And I don't mind people, like, looking at my videos for support. I just didn't particularly care for the fact that they made this collage of my videos for both Shalea and then with Josiah. It made me feel some kind of way. So, like, I'll show pictures of my belly every now and then, but it's not going to be something that I'm going to do. Like, it might be in the thumbnail. That's the word. See, pregnancy brain is real. It might be in the thumbnail, y'all, but as far as that other stuff, I really don't have time for people trying to exploit or whatever they're doing, because I think the whole concept is just weird. I wasn't, that's a whole nother thing. So thanks to Blue Rose Linnea, who actually hit me up on my Instagram and let me know that it was on there. And so that I appreciate, but I felt some kind of way about it. And that's kind of another reason why I stepped back from social media, because there's all kind of people who watch your stuff and they have weird views. It's just too much from where I'm at in my life. And I know when you're on YouTube, you subject yourself to that, but I'm like, I don't know how I feel about somebody making a whole montage of my belly. Not my pregnancy, not my story, but just like my abdomen area. It's just too much. So anyway, you guys, I don't want this video to be too long. This was kind of like what happened between when I found out and what's going on now. I still have nausea. I still am tired, fatigued, all that regular stuff. As far as my videos, I don't know if I'm going to do every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. I'm not really showing. I'm pretty sure I think I'm going to do my even weeks. In the next video, I will have had a appointment just at the doctor's office, but not with the doctor. I do not do first trimester ultrasounds. There's just such a high risk, and to me it's unnecessary because I've never had a miscarriage or lost a child in the beginning part of pregnancy, so there's no point for me getting an ultrasound. I'd rather get all that stuff squared away when I am 13 weeks, which I have a appointment the day after Christmas just to do like the workup and everything and give my history and talk with the nurse. And then I'll have my appointment with my OB/GYN in January, and we'll probably set up the ultrasound. We'll hear the heartbeat, and we'll talk about birthing plans. That's a whole different thing because I've had a vaginal birth and a C-section, so I don't know if I'm going to try for a VBAC or if I'm just going to do a scheduled C-section. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Just please keep watching and stay tuned. I know it's a lot. It seems like I'm rambling, y'all, but I feel like I had a lot to share. I normally don't go this far Last time I documented like exactly at 4 weeks, and now I'm 2 months pregnant, and so I really just wanted to let you all know what's going on. And I'm happy, y'all. Sending so many positive vibes to you guys who are pregnant, to you guys who are trying. There's some of you who have had miscarriage. Like, my heart goes out. I try to comment on your posts. Sometimes I'm just in tears, you guys. I'm a very emotional person, even though it might not be transparent in when I'm recording. But when I see things like that, it just really pulls at my heart, because it is a journey, and it is so hard when you have lost a child at any part. It doesn't matter if it's a day, a month, if they're born, if it's infant death, whatever. It is just so hard. And so my love and support is always with all you moms and dads and family members, because this is hard. It is so hard. But I just wanted to come on here with this video. I know it might look a little bit different, and like it might be a little bit off, but I wanted to give you guys this first video, raw and uncut, first 2 months of pregnancy. So anyway, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. I will see you guys in the next video, and bye.